Hello, this is David Brodsky with the second video. This is my second video reviewing herbicides available at Home Depot. So, in the first video, I looked at the Weed B Gon, and the second video today, I'm going to be looking at RoundUp. So, there's two different types. There's the blue bottle and there's the green bottle, and I'm going to review blue and green. I'm gonna review blue and green. I don't know my colors. Blue and orange. There's a blue bottle and the orange bottle. Anyways, um, what is RoundUp? RoundUp is, and okay, so in terms of herbicide scope, this is everything that's available at Home Depot. If this is everything that's available at Home Depot, it's going to be the same thing at Canadian Tire, same thing at all your other department stores, Home Hardware, whatever. These are your choices. These are your options. Uh, I'd hazard a guess there might be some other brand names, but I don't know. Look around in other stores, I guess. So RoundUp. RoundUp, you can find it in a Home Depot or in a Canadian Tire, and they have it locked away in a special place. You have to get a lock. You have to get someone like a store assistant to open it for you. That's because it's illegal to use. You're not legally supposed to be using RoundUp for anything other than poison oak, poison ivy, and other things that are called noxious weeds. So if we go noxious weeds Ontario, basically if you have any of these, feel free to buy yourself a bottle of RoundUp to deal with them. If you don't use the RoundUp for it. That's the recommended thing. You're going to get like a little sticker to remind you. There it is. Okay, I'll leave the link in the description. Anywho, so the first question about RoundUp, now that we've gotten the legal stuff out of the way, first question about RoundUp is, does it work? Does it work? Well, let's go with how does it work. Let's start with how does it work. So RoundUp has an ingredient in it called glyphosate. You might not be able to see it, but it says glyphosate present at 7 grams per liter. That is the concentration. So out of every liter, most of it is water or filler or whatever. Glyphosate is 7 grams. And the combination of glyphosate with other additives makes this a powerful weed killer. Now, how does it work? Well, here's a link. Glyphosate is a broad-spectrum herbicide. This means that it can't be used to kill specific weeds or plants. Instead, it kills most broadleaf plants in the area that it is used. Broadleaf are not grassy leaf plants, but they made a mistake because they say it kills most broadleaf plants, and here they say that it kills weeds and grass. Grass is not a broadleaf. There's only two types. Glyphosate works by inhibiting the actions of a plant enzyme that plays a role in the synthesis of 3 amino acids. Glyphosate is absorbed into plants primarily through its leaves. That's why you spray the leaves. And only tiny amounts of it are absorbed into the roots. Consequently, glyphosate is actually only effective at killing growing weeds and grass. It cannot stop seeds from germinating in the first place. If you spray seeds, nothing is going to happen to them. If you spray the soil, nothing is going to happen to it. It's just going to break down in the soil. You have to spray a growing weed or grass. So spray in the spring, in the early summer. Once you've hit fall, it's too late for that. Once it's absorbed into the plant structure, glyphosate spreads all around the plant to its roots and leaves and prevents it from making proteins that are necessary for its growth. That is what ends up killing the plant. Within 10 days, the plants that you spray should be dead. Does it work? Yes. For smaller weeds, this stuff is fantastic. You spray it, and it kills it. So that's how it works. Now, the question is, does it work? I guess we shouldn't delete that, but how does it work, and will it work? So, instead of going into a whole bunch of studies, I am going into omafra.gov.on.ca, which is, I don't know what it is, but it's basically, this is a guide to weed control in field crops in Ontario 2021. It's every weed every weed crop has a recommended pesticide that you should use. That's right. Every commercial crop has a recommended pesticide that you should use for it. So we're going to look for specifically the product name Roundup, and I want to point out two specific things. The first thing is that there we go. Corn. Herbicide tolerant corn. In glyphosate tolerant Roundup Ready corn, so they grow corn that is tolerant to it, sequential applications of glyphosate at 540 grams per liter should be applied at the 2 to 3 leaf stage and then again at the 7 to 8 leaf stage to emerged field bindweed. That is, now, field bindweed is not considered a noxious weed, doesn't matter, but it is something that, you know, stifles corn production, provided the most consistent level of control, or a single application provided comparable control to the sequential application. And expectations of control 75 to 85%. That means like 75 to 85% of the weeds are going to die. So the question of will it work? Glyphosate, this key ingredient in Roundup, is sprayed at 540 grams per liter on corn, and it is sprayed in the same concentration on soybeans. So every time you eat corn and soybeans, you are eating vegetables that have been sprayed very, very thoroughly with this highly concentrated pesticide. And I say highly concentrated herbicide because this is 540 and this is 7. So this might work to control your field bindweed, but this may not control anything at all because the concentration is like 100 times lower. Okay? So the question of will it work historically it has for me. In some cases it hasn't, but it might not work. Should you be too afraid of Roundup and getting it on yourself? Probably not, because the concentration is low and we eat the food that's covered in it anyways. So, the only question left. So my basic recommendation here is don't even, like, if you have to get rid of weeds, just pull them, cover them. Pesticides, given their lack of concentration, are basically a waste of time. But if you do go the pesticide route, buy something with a higher concentration. So this has 7 grams per liter. Let's look at the other options that we have here. The herbicide refill, and I think I actually get into this in the next video, but the herbicide refill is also 7 grams per liter, so it's pretty much identical. This is not the same product. We'll get into that in the next video. This is the same product, same concentration, same concentration. Yeah, that's really as concentrated as you're going to get, 7 grams per liter. So you want to test your luck, spray your weeds, spray grass that you want to kill, go for it, but how effective is it going to be? You'll know within 10 days. Anywho, and don't spray anything that's not on the noxious weed list. So that's it. Thank you for listening to the video. Like and subscribe to the channel for more videos in the future to stay up to date. Comment if I got anything wrong, and have a nice day.